Alright y'all, so in today's video I'm going to show you how to absolutely destroy your shoulders in a good way, like make them freaking massive. Now this is my normal routine that I do before any of my individual workouts. I try to knock out 50 push-ups and I do 2 sets of those for a total of 100 reps, or I do 4 sets of 25 push-ups. But now lately, because I've been doing push-ups every day, I'm able to do 50 and then do 2 sets of that. So if you can work your way up and build your way up to doing 2 sets of 50, you're going to see your chest develop all the way around. Guys, this hits every area of your chest because what we're looking to do is fill out all of our chest, and you can't really do that if all you're doing is bench pressing. You got to work on calisthenics first to really get a feel for your body. Here I'm doing just diamond push-ups. This really works your inner and lower chests, but it kind of creates sort of like the male cleavage, if the equivalent of that, you know, where the inner chest just is like chiseled and really defined. And I've really found like doing these every single day has helped me tremendously grow that area of my chest as well, the middle part. And then I do some incline chest or incline push-ups, which works the upper chest and the middle chest. And this right here also works my shoulders, so I'm already getting in my shoulder workout, just kind of warming them up for the beating I'm about to put them through. Guys, you really need to be doing your push-ups every single day. If you can't do anything else, try to work your way up to doing at least 100 push-ups every single day. It really does help you as a man, boost your testosterone, all of that. And then also, guys, I'm now able to do 10 reps for pull-ups. This is progress for me, so don't laugh. Last week, as I showed you, I could only do 6 to 7, so now I've worked my way up to 10. I'm still trying not to rock too much. It's really hard when I have long limbs. A lot of you guys were taller than I thought, so you guys absolutely get what it's like to do pull-ups as a tall, long-limbed guy. It's a challenge, man. If you're short and you're able to do pull-ups much easier than this, you know, God bless you. This is my weakest part, my back, which I'm working on. Here, I'm really trying to extend and contract right here with my shoulder blades and really get my lats into that. You can see my lats just bulging out on the side. They're definitely getting a lot stronger, and I'm really trying to fully extend and feel that pull on them. Really just putting through my lateral muscle fibers under as much tension as possible. That's why with no break in between, I'm going right back into regular pull-ups to really just work my back and just tire out my arms as quickly as possible. Really work all of those muscle fibers. That's the quickest way to growth. High volume, and go until you literally struggle to put on your sweater when you're leaving the gym after your workout. That's where I've gotten to the point too for my workouts, because I'm looking to grow tremendously big shoulders, arms, and big chests. That's my main goal right there, the big 3. So you guys are going to see my progress as this continues. So I also do 100 dips every single day. We're definitely getting a lot better at this as well, which is why I usually start off doing 25, and then now I'm adding a weight to it. So I add usually a 15 or a 20-pound dumbbell. If you have plates at your gym, God bless you. You are so lucky, because I'm in a really tiny gym in my apartment complex, and unfortunately we don't have plates. So that's one of the things I really miss. You could also, if you don't have access to weights, you could fill up a water jug. You could also use a bag of rice, just put that across your hips right there where I have the weight. Anything basically that will add a little bit extra pressure to you, a little bit more weight once you plateau, because you definitely aren't going to see as much growth if you don't really push yourself and add extra weight and challenge your muscle fibers and put them under the most stress every single time you go to the gym and your exercise starts to get easier. Guys, you gotta up the weight. That was one of the things I struggled with, which is why I saw a plateau for so long. And now I'm starting to break through that plateau because I'm adding more weight consistently. As soon as it gets easy, add more weight. And then this is another exercise I've been incorporating every single day for my shoulders, because I'm in something called Nucleus Overload, which is basically working your weakest body part for 30 to 60 days straight. I'm just doing 30. I don't think I'm able to do 60 yet. I'm not on any performance enhancing drugs or anything like that. So I'm going to be doing shoulders for the 60-day period. You guys can work on whatever lagging body part that you want to grow the most and really just hit that every single day. Okay, 30 days in a row, you're going to be targeting this right here. I'm doing my side lateral raises to really get the 3D pop going. So I'm doing these every single day for a 30-day period. Guys, if you want any part of your body to grow tremendously, do the same exercise for it for 30 days straight. 2 sets of complete exhaustion. Okay, you really want all your muscle fibers just absolutely worn out by the time you leave that gym, like you gave it your all that day. It also just makes you feel like more of a sense of accomplishment because you went hard, man. Like, look at the faces I'm making. Like, this is difficult, okay? This is one of my weakest body parts. I really want it to grow, and I'm going to force it to grow. So whatever body part that you've been naturally blessed with, you don't necessarily need to work on that every single day like I'm telling you, but your weakest body part, you know what that is. You need to target that, and you also need to go for a well-rounded look, which is why I'm doing front raises as well, working the front of my shoulders, my deltoids, and all of that. And then I'm going to work on my back deltoids after this, but this one's just going to be lateral and front raises until I have multiple sets of failure. I usually get around 50 to 60 reps in front and side before, you know, I can't do anymore. And then I get into my back shoulder workouts after this. Another thing I forgot to mention is what you'll notice is that I have no rest period in between. So as soon as the weight comes down, I'm not resting. I'm immediately swinging the weight back up, keeping my shoulder under pressure, really just working all of my muscle fibers, really trying to break them down as much as I can. Guys, you have to grind down whatever body part that is, break it down to build it up with the food that you eat, the rest that you get, and all your recovery methods. And here I'm doing more lateral side raises. This one works more of my back as well. And yeah, I'm just gassed. And then I'll end my lateral workouts usually with kettlebell lateral side raises. Okay, so I'll usually try to do 15 to 20 reps of these. I'll do 3 sets, and I do it basically till complete failure. If I get to 15 and I still feel like I have some juice in the tank to get to 20, I'm gonna go to 20. Okay, that's just me. I'm really trying to hit my shoulders hard this month to really force that growth, like I said. But I like the kettlebell because you get a really good like swing momentum. It's not always the best form, but right now I'm just going for high volume, high intensity, and as many reps as I possibly can. But yeah, the kettlebell, because the ball at the bottom is extra weight, you know, when you have a dumbbell, it doesn't really have that extra weight to it at the bottom. So this one really just, it works your shoulders a little bit more, I think, and it's just easier to swing. So I'll really just end my workout doing kettlebell raises like this to the side because I can kind of get away with not the best form because I'm burning out my shoulders right here, really trying to get, even if I'm swinging a little bit, just really burn down that muscle fiber, break that down. And now I'm going to do a front hold and just try to hold that weight, keep it shoulder level. I know I'm struggling right here. It's a little bit lower than shoulder level, but this will burn your shoulders and really just break down all that muscle fiber. Once again, that's the goal. Really incorporate this if you're serious about growing your shoulders. And then the next exercise I do is bent over rows on the bench. So right here, as you can see, I'm reaching down and I'm pulling up and I'm really trying to just contract at the top and feel my muscle. Okay, that's the goal, guys. You really want to feel whatever body part you're working on. In this case, it's my back shoulder that I'm trying to develop. I can see the muscle poking through, so that's some encouragement. But you know, if you're first starter, you're not going to necessarily see that. So instead of seeing the results, you're going to have to feel it inside your own body and know that it's under there and it's going to show up one day. You might have to lose some body fat or whatever it may be. You might have to just be more consistent in the gym, but one day it'll come through. Just know that as long as you're feeling the tension and you're putting that muscle under stress and you're really contracting, you're not letting the weight control, you're controlling the weight. That's a key thing right there. We're going to talk about that a little later as well. You're in control of the weight, just like you're in control of your life and the decisions you make. You don't let life just throw you wherever it wants to throw you because you are in control of your actions every day. The same thing applies in weightlifting and bodybuilding. That's why I love it, because there's a lot of life lessons in this. Here we're doing cable rows. Now, if you really want to challenge yourself, you can do this sitting down because sometimes we have a tendency to use our feet as additional support with that weight, but I'm doing all the weight I can. Actually, I have all the weight that's possible for this cable row, because once again, I'm doing high volume for everything. You have to use as much weight as possible if you want big, bulky body parts, guys, especially if you're a hard gainer like me. It's always been hard for me to put on weight, but this is the way to do it, guys. It's gonna be painful, you're gonna be sore. Drink your BCAAs and shut the hell up and stay consistent in the gym, okay? Stop complaining, get in the gym, eat what you're supposed to eat, and force yourself to lift heavy every single time. Here I'm struggling at the end, but I'm gonna get those last 4 or 5 reps in when I'm really struggling, because that's when the most growth happens. Once again, there's another view of me pulling, doing the cable rows. This time I'm doing a negative where I'm pulling, and then once I get to the back part of my shoulders where there's a lot of tension, I'm slowly releasing the weight and then pulling back. And then this, for some reason, I always laugh because it reminds me of the Gladiator. You know, as the consequence, if you saw the new Gladiator, was they'd make them do stationary rows on a boat that was like beached on land, and these guys would get massive, their backs would get huge, their shoulders would get huge. I mean, it's the Gladiator, right, guys? So like, that's the physique we're all trying to get, but they're constantly rowing the boat. Same thing with the Vikings, you know, working that cable exercise where you're constantly pulling, putting that tension on your back shoulders is going to create a big back and big bulky shoulders. Here we have a standing dumbbell press. You know, this one works your entire shoulders and your upper back. And this one can be kind of, you know, it was hard for me to do these at first, because being a hard gainer, you really have to look at all your insecurities. Like for me, I had string bean arms. I still do compared to where I want to be. And you have to look at yourself and face your weaknesses when you do this in the mirror. There's no hiding from it, right? So you'll really see if you have weak, like slim arms, or you have big bulky arms when you're doing this exercise in the mirror. But don't be hard on yourself. Keep going, keep eating, and be consistent. You know, that's the main thing. You want to be consistent with all these. And then I end my workouts always doing a little arm exercises, because once again, I'm trying to bulk my entire arm and my upper body. So I got to include some arm exercises, and I'm doing bicep curls at the same time on both hands. I try to really fully extend. As you see, I'm reaching back and then pulling up to really just feel that stretch in my bicep. That's really going to make the long head of your bicep grow tremendously, especially from the side view right here. You can see it'll grow. Now the hammer curls is next. That's another grip, as you can see, for biceps, but it hits more of like the thickness side of your biceps, looking at it front on. So if I'm looking at you, let's say this is you working out, it's going to make the front of your biceps thicker. Okay, so not the side view, but the front view. This is what hammer curls do. I try to do these immediately after I do regular bicep curls, just to really put a lot of tension and get a good juicy pump in my arms. And you, if you do this every day, you will get that juicy pump in your arms. It feels so damn good, hurts so bad in the moment, so difficult, so challenging. As you can see, you can't really see my face, but you can see my mouth. I am going through it, guys, but I'm thinking about that pump at the end. I'm thinking about the end results of how I'm gonna look, and I'm just gonna power through it right here. Boom, into hammer curls right after regular bicep curls. Gonna go till I can't go no more. How many does he have left in him? There he goes, pushing through. Guys, when you're absolutely fatigued, that's when you make the most progress, okay? I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger that said, it doesn't count till after it hurts. And then I'm gonna end doing pull-ups, and this is how you know you've absolutely destroyed your shoulders. I can only do 4 pull-ups.